Hi! Good morning! Hey guys! Hey, welcome to our Seeds Kids content for today! It is so good not to be able to see you. That's a strange thing to say. I say that because I know for a fact what some of you wear while you watch this. I'm so glad I don't get to see you in your pajamas. But you know what? We are so pleased, every one of us, even if they're not here with me, that you join in with us during our time this morning. So it doesn't matter what you're wearing, we're just glad to have you joining in. Now, let me just get back to what I was up to. Thanks. Yeah. Remind you of last week? Oh, what's that? I can't hear you. Huh? Oh, slow down. Okay, if you say so, I will slow down. Actually, now that you bring it up, we might look at something to do with slowing down this morning. Great idea, thanks. So, we're going to talk about an element to do with prayer called, ready? Contemplation. Contemplation, that's a big word. It means things like meditation. So that's dwelling with God in some peace and calming and mindfulness. It also means things like thinking deeply. Contemplation, thinking deeply. And often it involves a whole lot of silence. So we're going to get to that a little bit later. But while we're using some energy, before we get to silence, let's use some more energy. And we're going to sing that Lord's Prayer song today. So do you remember the actions? His love comes down, down, down. Our praise goes up, up, up. Okay? He gives me what I need. Gives me what I need. Okay, that's the chorus if you remember it. Down and up, up, up. What I need. And then in the bridge we had, and yours is the crown, kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. And we do that again. Yours is the king crown, and the power, and the glory forever. That was just a refresher. Enjoy singing along this great song to our great God.
Come, your will be done on earth as
Let me tell you a story about a guy named Elijah who learnt about letting things go quiet to encounter God and to understand what God was really up to. Elijah, he was running for his life. He lived in a place called Israel, okay? And some of the people in Israel decided this man has got to go. Elijah was one of God's prophets, and so it meant that people didn't always like the things that he had to say. And so he was on the run for his life, okay? And he went out into the dry country, into the desert, there wasn't much, and fell asleep one night. God sent an angel who put some bread and some drink and woke Elijah up. Elijah ate and drank, went back to sleep. And Elijah, then the angel came and woke him again, and he had some more miraculous, out of nowhere, more eat and drink to have. After this, Elijah, so once God had already fed him and given him some of what he needed, Elijah ran again, and it says, for 40 days and 40 nights. I can barely run for half an hour. 40 days and 40... Off he goes, right? And he runs until he gets to this sacred, special place called Horeb, which is called the Mountain of God. What a special place, hey? The Mountain of God. And he goes into a cave there to find some rest. Now, while he was there, God said to him, go out, stand on the mountain in the presence of the Lord. So God is speaking to him, but he's saying, but here comes the presence. Here comes God without any confusion, without any obscurity, nothing blocking the way. Here comes the presence of God. So go stand out there. He's going to pass by. Okay, you got that much? This is the bit I need your help with in the story, okay? I'm going to need your help at home of what happens next. Elijah goes, he's in that cave, and God tells him to go out. Then, would you help? Okay, what it says in the Bible is next. A great, powerful wind tore through. So I want you to do the sounds and make the sounds for me. So, great, powerful wind tore through like a hurricane goes. Blow with me. Things are going everywhere. And it says that blew so hard that it tore the rocks apart. Imagine the two rocks, some rocks coming together. Rocks were torn apart. I couldn't even imagine tearing a rock apart myself, but wind. Wow, right? So all that happens. And it says, it happens, but the Lord was not in the wind. This great powerful wind. The Lord was not in the wind. Okay. So after the wind comes, are you ready? Can you act it out for me? An earthquake! Quick! Quick! Yet the Lord was not in the earthquake. Then, after the earthquake, came ready to act it out, come on, this is a tough one, a fire, a great fire. Can you do a fire? I'm melting! Not really. Hot! I can't even look! But the Lord was not in the fire also. After the fire, though, came ready to act this one out, a gentle whisper. Can you whisper? Can you whisper really quietly so no one else but you can hear? As a whisper. And when Elijah heard the whisper, he pulled his cloak over his face and went and stood at the mouth of the cave. Then a voice said to him, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" Now Elijah and God then have a pretty frank conversation. Elijah says to him, "This is what's happening to me. These people are trying to kill me." And God, even though they had been talking along the way, this is the point where God was able to speak clearly to him. And in the presence of the Lord, all the distractions, all the other things that actually didn't matter were taken away. So Elijah had been talking to God the whole way. God had fed him, with food, and gave him water. And he managed to look past all the distractions, the earthquake, the fire, the wind, even the fact that people were trying to kill him. And he finally manages to understand what God is doing for him, who God is. Only once everything is still. Only once everything is quiet. That's when we can truly be open to God and we can truly understand him, because all the other things that get in the way are out of the way. So when you pray, try really hard each day to stop thinking. Try really hard to find a quiet place. Maybe even try putting on those headphones where it blocks out all the other sounds. Okay? And think about God. Just think about God. Contemplate. Think deeply. Think about God. Think about God. Think about God. Don't think about other things. Don't think about what you want. Don't think about what's been happening today. Don't think about your frustrations. Just think about God for a while. You can get to those other things later. Find some rest with him. And who knows, in spending some peaceful time with him, you never know what's going to happen. And if something happens, let us know. If you want to know more about this story of Elijah, it comes from the Old Testament book of 1 Kings, chapter 19. But for now, here is a video from Kate sharing something where she is being honest and real with each one of us.
Hey Seeds, how you doing this week? I haven't spoken to you for ages because it's been school holidays. How have your school holidays been going? That's what I wanted to talk to you about how your school holidays have been going. So me and the toys, look who I'm going to introduce you to. We have a new toy, Sebastian. He's from South Africa. He came over here with his mum and his daddy. We've been talking about how we're feeling, because we were really looking forward to going back to school, and we can't. Theodore said he's feeling a bit confused about why we can't back to school. His bag was all packed, he was ready, and he can't. Whoopsie, he's just mad that he can't go back to school. And as for Rufus, he's feeling... Rufus! We won't worry about how Rufus is feeling, but he was telling me before, he's missing his friends at the dog park. And I want you to talk about how you're feeling. And you know who cares about how you're feeling? Jesus. There's a verse in the Bible that says, cast all your fears and anxieties onto him because he cares for you. That means if you're worried, if you're mad, if you're sad, that Jesus cares and he wants to know. So I was thinking, I did this before, how about you run out into your backyard? If you're mad, you can stamp your feet, you can yell. If you're sad, you can cry. There's nothing wrong with crying. Or however you're feeling, tell Jesus, because he wants to know, see? Okay? And me and the toys will tell Jesus too. And we'll see you next week. But remember to tell him. See ya!
Still not sure what contemplation is all about? Maybe this will help. You can see we've got a bowl of water. It looks like there's a light in there, but really it's just a reflection of the light up above. But down here it still looks pretty good, doesn't it? But if all of a sudden we create some ripples in the water, it's not so easy to see the light, is it? But slowly, it comes back and we can see the light pretty good. So imagine the light being God and this ball of water being us. And so we're trying to understand and listen and talk to God. But sometimes with all the distractions in our lives, they create ripples. And we're trying to meet with God and we can't even see what he looks like. We don't even know what's going on. How are we supposed to understand what's happening when there's so many ripples and distractions? But when we quiet our lives, when we find some silence, when we do some deep thinking, that's contemplation. We can take away those ripples in our lives, those distractions, and understand God a whole lot easier.
Well, that's it, guys. This is the end of our Seeds Kids content for today. Thanks for joining with us. But as we finish, why don't we pray together? God, we want to know you better. God, we want to be closer to you. But we realise there's some ripples in our lives and distractions that stop us from understanding you better. God, help us to put those things aside, find some silence and deeply think about you. Amen. Well, thanks for joining with us, guys. Anyone who's watching, just take note. If you're going to get ready for our Willi church service at 10 a.m, you might need to click refresh on your browser so that it will go from the kids content over to the church content. Or you might even like to try quitting out, closing all the windows and hopping back in. Another way you could solve any problems that you might encounter would be to open a different type of browser if you have one. Otherwise, hope we can have you at 10 with Willi Church service. Thanks for joining with us. Looking forward to the rest of our day.